baby beard.
Waited for you, Fry.
This episode traumatized me as a young person.
My head is hurting again.
Where's my firstborn son?
God does not care about me masturbating.
Your singing is bad and you should feel bad.
First get out into bus, you're like, oh no!
I don't like myself becoming the protagonist of this podcast.
You've been in
Yeah, because you haven't learned anything.
Stop. Oh, take my podcast.
Fuck me. Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up and Take My Podcast.
Oh, what's that? Was it?
Oh, bless you.
Well, that is now and forever your pop filter.
God bless you. Yeah, no one.
I'm
no
actually
one gets.
going. No, I'm actually going.
I'm going to mark it, yeah.
No one gets to use that again.
Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up and Take My Podcast, the Australian Futurama podcast that pits episode against snotty episode in a glorious...
Bloody glory.
God, wow.
Bloody.
A glorious, snotty,
blah.
a phlegmy gauntlet battle for your entertainment.
Oh, sorry. You could have said like humorous. Like
humorous battle?
yeah,
Because we're funny?
Because we're full of humours,
Yeah.
i.e. like the 4 liquids inside the human body.
Full of
You know,
humours
from,
and
like,
tumours.
Medieval times, y'all.
Medieval times.
I would have been a great medieval doctor. Sorry,
Yeah.
tell us
I
what the
just-
podcast is.
Leeches and...
Oh, just the
And
aesthetic.
cocaine.
Screaming. Yeah.
And just the aesthetic. I'd love to see you in one of those cool bird bill masks.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm actually subscribed to r/medieval doctor, which is just it's just memes about leeches and
Have
the
you
guy
tried,
with the beak.
Have you
It's
tried
great.
cutting off the arm? Have you tried it? All I'm
I'll try
saying.
it now.
Okay, great.
Louder! So, guys, I lied to you. I'm sorry, listeners. I told you that this week was going to be our interview with Rami Muskies, which was not going to happen. It will happen next week. And because that got pushed back, we were actually going to have our interview with writer Eric Rogers. But that's not going to happen either because, no, it's like in true Aussie fashion, he was at a barbecue.
Oh,
Yeah, he was,
nice.
yeah.
He
Eric
That's
was,
a
at
true fact.
he was getting too into character.
And we asked him to send us a picture of him sad at the barbecue, but he's already in traffic and on the way home,
No.
so he can't.
Eric, what the fuck?
But so basically, I'm letting you know that there will be both an interview with director Rami Muskies and writer Eric Rogers in the next few weeks.
yeah, so just stay tuned. For
Right?
the meantime, you're stuck with us fucks.
Yeah, the normal format, you know.
Who are us fucks?
We are us. We are Flemmy Phil.
Oh, you did a sort of intro for me. Wait, hang on. So go again.
I am joined here by Flemmy Phil.
So Fry's dad is a cannibal, right? He ate a man.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Kimchi.
I'm joined here by
Snotty Ellen.
no. What starts with an E?
Ear canals.
Oh, epidemiologist Ellen.
I am joined here by epidemiologist Ellen.
I'm ready for a science experiment. I just bought a whole bunch of glitter. And we're joined by Sneezy
Sean.
Oh, my teen region hurts.
Oh, no.
What does
Not
that mean?
rated for teens.
What does that mean, epidemiologist Ellen?
Well, okay, so when the body goes through puberty,
Yes, second puberty,
God.
which is a thing.
you should be locked away immediately until you have finished your gestation process.
Yeah,
at which point
until
they'll
you've
let
pupated,
and
yes.
then-
Pupated.
At which point
Oh.
they'll let you out.
Pubestification.
I am not an actual
I would
doctor.
like to pupate. That'd be great.
Pupate.
What would you like? Just get a fucking cool pair of wings?
Yeah.
yeah,
Dope.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
shit yeah. They'd be like butterfly wings though. So
I feel like I'd be in my acting career. I'd end up typecast as like a guy with
As a winged, like in the X-Men movies, and that's
Hi,
it. Yeah.
I'm Phil.
You're
I'm going for
Angel.
the romantic lead. That's great. Yeah, yeah. Have you considered going for the role with the guy with wings?
Guy with growths on his back. But here's
I
my
just thought I'd
question:
branch out. You know,
would they be feathery wings, or would it just be like gross, like
who knows until
skeletal
I've pupated?
wings?
Maybe
Well, I
they'd be
was-
butterfly wings.
Well, I was going to say butterfly wings really wouldn't hold up our weight. Like that's Unless we unless when we
Eric, what do you want?
unless when we pupated, we
I
had like
love you,
a
Eric, I'm
tiny, like our body, but just like paper thin.
Yeah, I could do that.
I feel like it would really help my career. I don't know.
Guys,
How do you lose all that weight? I pupated.
what episode are we up to? We are up to, I'm glad you asked. We are up to season 6, episode 24, Cold Warriors.
Oh,
Which is
chilly.
very timely. Has anyone been sick yet this winter?
I have. No, I'm waiting to get my flu vaccine.
Yeah.
I contacted my local pharmacy and they're
You
like, yeah, we
should.
don't have any. We'll call you when we get some.
I
Yeah.
heard, so in Adelaide here in SA, we've got a particular nasty strain of the flu going around.
Yeah. Nationally, it's already killed 17 people this
You
week. So.
should just go to Chemist Warehouse, bruh, because that's where I
Yeah.
got it done. It costs you $12.95. I think a bit more if you don't have
I
like.
need to go.
Chemist Warehouse has the vaccine?
Yeah,
Not all of them.
Any
I went to-
any pharmacy, Priceline. This
No, I
is-
went to the one in the Brickworks and they don't have it. They don't do it.
Yeah, well,
Well, fuck.
Look,
I'm
just
looking around. I'm looking.
go online, Chemist Warehouse, because you
I
can
don't wanna
book
die.
in. I got vaccinated. Have you been vaccinated?
I have
Sean?
not been vaccinated.
You're an idiot.
I'd get it this
I
year.
called around to a couple of places and they said, "Oh, all our free ones are gone.
Yep.
And you don't. Oh no, sorry, you don't. I don't qualify for a free
Yeah,
one.
but it's not expensive.
and all
so-
the paid ones they're out of.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah.
the same thing I'm
Yes.
running
Yeah.
into.
I tried a
Okay.
few places. So
Look, honestly, go to the Chemist Warehouse. This is like a chain chemist in Australia.
it is a warehouse with chemist stuff.
Sponsored this
Sponsored by
episode.
Chemist Warehouse. No, just go on
I'd
their
take that money.
website because you can book in.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And it costs you like between $12 and $20, which is like, pretty good
We
for
just-
not dying.
Guys,
We just
Guys,
lost all
get
our
back-
anti-vax visitors.
Yeah.
Oh no.
listeners.
Oh, that's like 90% of our.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right?
maybe
Subscriber base.
instead just chew on some garlic
Yeah.
Right? Or just punch yourself in the face.
and bleed a bit. Let out some of that blood. 'Cause
Get
it's
some
all
leeches.
It's all that blood
Oh,
in your
yeah.
system. It's bad. It's bad for you. You're not meant to have too much blood.
But basically, we are all not sick. You had a headache last night, so
I get a lot of headaches,
Yeah.
but that's not really well, it is kind of a medical issue, but it's
I have
just
clinical
stress.
depression.
yeah.
Same.
I don't know if I've.
That's
I do
just-
too. It's why we do
Yay!
comedy.
Yay!
Hey, welcome to the comedy podcast.
Turns out there's no
Why are we talking about illness?
Well, we are talking about illness because this episode is all about Fry's fight,
the common
the
cold.
fight for the common cold, which but it was
That's why it's
directed.
called Cold Warriors.
Yeah, and it was also very chilly too because they're in a lot of snow at some
Yeah, it's
point.
also
They
too.
are.
Yeah.
ice stuff.
Which is
yeah.
strange because New York gets snowy,
Very
right?
cold, yeah.
By the way,
I
it's
played
raining
the
outside.
Division.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it's
It started raining as we're doing this podcast, so
the
very
Division
timely.
1 is set in a wintry New York. It's excellent.
Oh, the
Oh.
Division.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks
Yes.
like a really
as
cool
in Tom
game.
Clancy's The Division.
Yes.
I've got that game.
It's a great game.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean there won't be
yeah.
any players. There won't be any players now because they've all moved on to Washington DC
Why?
in Division 2.
But maybe before you play that, get vaccinated.
Yes.
Okay, I will.
Yes.
Now, guys, the director for this episode is Crystal Chesney Thompson.
Yay!
Who I look. Okay, so just no, I can actually clarify this position this time. The reason I have not done the research on the director and writer this week is because we didn't know we were doing this episode until just before we did it.
That's fair.
However,
That's absolutely fair.
I can tell you that the last thing she did was the first thing she did was All Reconcilable and Differences
Yeah.
because she was actually in it as well. She was the
She's the scientist that's actually the robot.
yes
Yeah.
that Farnsworth was in love with.
Yeah. Wait.
and
Is that in Learn and Differences? I
Maybe?
thought that was in the robot one.
Is
where
that
they
not
have to vote for
Robosexuals?
robosexuals?
Oh, God.
Proposition Infinity.
Proposition Infinity.
That's the one.
Well, there you go. Fuck me. This is why you do the research, you know? It's why you
I'm
do it.
so sorry to call you out in this podcast.
No, please do it. But what I also would like to let you know is the writer for the episode is Dan
Dan
Weber.
Weber.
Yeah.
I could tell it was Dan Weber because you went into supporters.
Oh, yeah. Which is also, I really hope this is his accent.
It will be
Maybe
very
we will find out.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would like to get both of them on, but I won't because we've already done the episode now. I don't know if they come back on together.
Oh, no.
And the air date for this episode is August 25th, 2011. Month after my 20th birthday.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
month
I
and
was
a
in
week.
bloody
To it.
year 12.
Will
No,
you?
sorry, no, year 11.
Okay.
2011, year 11.
That's
It's easy to remember.
So easy to remember.
You were in your junior year.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
America? What the fuck?
Also, America,
America, explain.
Explain, why is it not Arkansas?
which you can do because apparently we have more American listeners than Australian
Yeah, we do
listeners.
by far. Yeah,
But like
America, explain.
Well, let's...
60% of you
And
tell
yet-
us.
And yet we offend... Anytime we speak about America, we're constantly like, what the fuck is happening here?
In fact, he loves when I tag him and stuff. So Jose,
No way.
tell me why. You explain why.
America,
Why-
explain.
Why this one Kansas
And this one not Arkansas. What do you mean it's Arkansas?
We have a lot of fun here doing memes
we
on
do,
Shut Up and Take
we
My
do.
Podcast.
And Lines and
not
memes.
discussing the episode.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the plot.
Do you know who was introduced in this episode?
Not Buzz Aldrin.
Fucking Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin.
I thought he'd been in it before.
No,
Maybe
he-
I'm just
he was
thinking of
mentioned-
Simpsons.
He was mentioned in Silence of the Clams.
Ah.
But this is he actually came on for this episode.
Oh, nice.
That's him.
Good on you,
Here I
Buzz.
was.
Because he literally do anything.
I must have got confused between probably this and his Simpsons appearance.
Oh, where Homer goes into space and it's Buzz Aldrin.
Not
Buzz
the
Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin.
Not the potato chips.
I was going to go into Gerald Ford. Do you like
Pete-
football?
Do you like beer?
Do you like nachos? Hey, Phil.
Yes.
What's
it's me.
this episode about?
This episode's about the common cold and how Fry gives it to everyone, and then they vaccinate everyone against it. But it accomplishes this narrative feat by having a dual plotline. So you've got the modern day where they go ice fishing and Fry's dormant cold comes out. And once it's discovered that he is sick with the common cold from 1,000 years ago, the Planet Express building gets quarantined. Everyone there gets it. Then the whole of Manhattan gets quarantined and sent into the sun. So they have to very quickly find something from the other plot. So in the other plot, Fry
Go to the other plot. Find it.
Quick. Go to the other plot. The other plot follows a young teenage Fry at school where he gets sick. While he's sick, he decides to take part in like a science competition called Nerd Search.
Nerd Search.
Nerd Search 88, which is a clever pun on word search. And he decides to infect his guinea pig with the common cold and send it into space.
Does the guinea pig have a name? Do we have?
It didn't have a
No.
name,
Oh.
I
unfortunately.
don't think so, no. He loses out to like a better nerd, which I think is fair because the other nerd's experiment is very good.
It's great. Like he
He's
cheated.
He didn't cheat at
Well,
all.
he stole an idea.
He did steal
that
the
he
idea.
otherwise would not have had.
But also-
but
yeah.
his idea is different from Fry's.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not really stealing. He's just done a better experiment, but he happens to be a huge douche about
Yeah,
it.
he is a
that's-
massive douche.
that's
No,
why
I'm on
we-
Team Fry. He totally stole the impetus of the idea.
I'm on
He
Team
does steal the
Guinea
idea. So what he does is he launches just a culture of the cold virus into space.
Yeah.
He wins, and his cold virus goes into space. That's what the crew find in a trash moon of Saturn. They find the
Hey.
Well,
virus.
Saturn where they were. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's a trash
That's
moon.
not
It's a
nice to
dumping
call
moon.
it.
Trash moon.
It's a dump moon. And they find the virus, they make a vaccine, they give it to everybody, and everyone is cured. They're worth noting that there is a lovely scene right at the end
Daddy.
where Fry's father tells them that he's proud of him and gives
That
him a
is-
sip of beer.
That is literally the first nice thing he's said to Fry, isn't it? That we know of.
Maybe?
I think it's the first overly affectionate thing he's said. He's not been like an asshole father for most of the appearances we've seen him.
No,
He's-
but he hasn't said a nice thing.
Yeah,
Like, he hasn't
it's-
said a bad thing, but this is like...
This is him saying that he wants him to be resilient and because he'll have to face obstacles
Communism.
that he won't even be able to predict and
Like, gone
Getting
a
frozen.
1,000 years
which I suppose
future.
but I mean that is like the fear of parenthood, isn't it?
It's definitely my fear.
Because you can't protect your kids from things you can't even imagine.
No,
Yeah.
you have to kind of strike a balance between protecting them, but then also
Giving them beer.
literally making them resistant so that they can face their own obstacles. Wow, that's really deep shit.
Hey, I got a question.
What?
What is Farnsworth?
What do you mean?
Well, he's not a mammal.
Oh, he's not a mammal.
Yeah, he's not,
He's
not
a
officially a
reptile.
mammal. Yeah,
That's
yes, 'cause
where
it's got
I
cold
went.
blood.
He's one of those reptiles leading the world. This goes all the way to the
He's
top.
one of the lizard
He's
people.
one of the lizard people.
That
Well,
actually does check
If
out.
he's cold-blooded,
Check it and see.
then that's the next best thing. He's not a fish.
Or
Or
is he? Or is he more like a bird? That's why he has that connection with Pazuzu.
Oh, he doesn't. God, I hope he doesn't have a cloaca.
Oh, he might.
No,
We've never seen his
no,
penis.
stop saying these things.
Cloaca.
Yeah.
Stop.
Cloaca-tastic.
You must stop. No.
Why should we? Why are you
just-
shaming
I'm just
Farnsworth's
playing
teen
my-
region?
Cloacas over here.
Oh, I get that reference.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Blah. My second sciencey question, or just something that I want to know, is what would be the real-world ramifications if you literally took a city and removed it?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the virus things, which are actually quite a big fear. But no, you want to know about that.
I do want to know about
Would
that.
be big bad times for like.
Call that the Sokovia question.
That's what I was trying to think. Yeah, like obviously, if you drop it back down, people die.
yeah.
Yeah,
but like, would that fuck with like?
it would, but maybe
I don't think
not.
it would like fuck with water levels. There's not
Well,
enough. There's
would
not
it?
enough.
Well, as we see, the water
displacement.
just kind of goes
In
back, and we've lost land masses before. Do you know? Like
in the
that's
same way.
no.
Even the Isle of Manhattan is like is nothing compared to the Earth.
Oh, I remember
when all the
when New
all,
Zealand was taken out.
when
Yeah.
all the land masses formed and like Pangea wasn't a thing
It was just
anymore.
hovered
it's,
out
It's
and
not
down.
because a giant spaceship took it
Took a
out
bit of it out.
and rearranged.
Are you referring to subduction?
Sorry?
Are you referring to subduction?
I am.
Yes.
And
Subduction.
I'm
yes.
controversially saying it wasn't caused by a giant spaceship
Oh, no.
doing some feng shui.
We're not
with-
having your fringe ideas on the podcast.
No, we've already lost the anti-vaxxers.
and now we're losing the flat earthers as well.
I think it would have surprisingly
Minimal.
little effect. It might affect the
do
Hudson
I.
River.
So do I.
Yeah.
How that flows out into the ocean. But I just don't think the Isle of Manhattan is that big compared to the size of the ocean.
I do
which is
have a question
massive.
about scale as well. How big is the Nimbus? Because it is
Oh, Nimbus is fucking
Varies.
huge.
It
But
is-
huge.
it is comparable to a skyscraper in the New York City skyline.
Yes.
Like
it should be bigger.
that's
Like I remember them doing an external shot where they pulled out from the window
Yeah.
where Brannigan was, and it's enormous.
Yeah.
It
It's
is-
got like 30 stories when they cut it in half, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gigantic.
that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's like I think it maybe has a crew of 12 people.
Oh my
Well,
god.
after half of them got shot out into space
Yeah.
that one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone except Brannigan and Kif
Oh
died.
my god.
Um,
Who's running that shit? Well, Brannigan, but like
Kif.
who else? Yeah, who else is
head,
there?
I think, yeah.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
many Kifs.
But there is an interesting question about because it's something that we're asking now with global warming and climate change melting a lot of ice caps. There's a lot of viruses and diseases
Hidden under there.
inside those ice caps, and what is going to happen to us when we're going to be exposed to these strains, these viral strains that we just simply do not have any resistance to.
We'll just die, I guess.
Well, it's as Farnsworth says. Either everyone will die or nothing will happen,
Or raise
maybe,
them.
or maybe it will raise some people from the dead because
Yeah.
Zombie.
So anything is possible in science.
Yeah.
Did you? I loved how happy he looked at that point. Like he literally was like, anything can happen in science. We can raise them.
he really does get excited about it. His crazy science, like the
Messing
crazy,
with God.
It's not even a huge like scientific experiment. It's just a whole bunch of gears with spikes attached to it that he's going to use to blend your eyes fry to make a vaccine.
which Fry was.
He's going to make a virus milkshake.
Yeah.
He was surprisingly okay with. Like
Well,
he
it was
even
his
tells.
fault.
Why?
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
look, it's fine. Like I did this. I'm okay with that.
I'm
But
okay.
he's like, it's my fault, I guess. This is fine.
I deserve this.
Why doesn't Fry have strong feelings on anything? Goddammit?
He's from the neutral planet.
Essentially, but like, why didn't they kill Fry first before blenderizing him?
Fuck.
That's inefficient.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Hermes likes to hear the scream.
Yeah, I do love them panicking in shifts. Like, let's not all panic at once. Hermes, you go.
Take the first 6 hours.
6 hours of screaming.
That's not a bad idea, though, because I feel like if you told someone, okay, now you panic, like, you would kind of just, because of the way emotions work, like, you would just kind of cycle through at a certain point and go, like, I'm kind of done with panicking.
But
Someone
could
else
you-
take over.
Yeah.
But could you panic when someone tells you to panic and then stop when they tell
What do
you
you
to?
mean? I'm meant to be panicking.
No, stop. It's Phil's turn.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, it's Bender's functions.
yes.
Here we go.
There's a
Bender's
lot.
functions. They're starting. Well, I got 2. He's like, what do you call it? A canteen
Yes,
for hot
for hot
cocoa.
cocoa.
Yes.
Cocoa break.
Which is great. Yeah.
Oh, I could do
He
with
just takes
cocoa.
off his head and he's got a ladle in there.
Oh, he's a thermos.
A
Mate,
thermos,
yes.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a humidifier, which was great. He
Yeah.
just vibrates to warmthness. Warmthness?
Warmthness.
And then,
I
and
want
then
some
steam,
warmthness.
and then steam comes out of his butt.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
How is
Great.
that not like a great merchandising opportunity for Futurama at the time? Like get a humidifier as
humidifier,
Bender.
yeah.
You know what would also be great? If you had like a little bender that you stuck into your it'd be a plug-in for your car. If a bender was your cigarette lighter, so like if you imagine Bender's body sticking out of the cigarette lighter,
push his head in.
you push his
Oh.
head in, you take it out, and his butt is what lights your
it's-
cigarette.
It's shiny hot metal ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna patent that. Fuck you, Matt Groening.
But also, please come on the show, Matt Groening.
Please do.
Yeah, please do.
Because otherwise, I need your name for this product.
We need your signature,
It'll
please.
just be a
Thank you.
pitch meeting, really.
Please
won't
and
it?
thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I didn't see any other functions. There's only 2.
Yeah. I mean,
He
he
He functions
They were good
as a carrier for the common cold.
He does, yes.
does
He's a
any-
vector.
Does anyone listen to? There's a fantastic podcast which I will recommend to everyone. It's called "This Podcast Will Kill You." It's on the Exactly Right network, i.e., My Favorite Murders network, and they're 2 epidemiologists, both called Erin, quite adorably.
Aaron and Aaron.
And their signing off phrase is "Wash your hands, you filthy animals."
Oh.
But yeah, it's a great. Him just smearing all that snot on all those
yeah.
scientists. It's a great example of like literally this is the way bacteria spreads. It's like anything that you touch, if you're touching your face, if you're coming into contact with someone's genitalia, or like
Well, no chance of that.
and there's also like the horrible thing about like diseases like smallpox and stuff is that it's airborne. Like like you simply must be more careful. And I see a lot of people like, you know, not washing their hands or like
Do
running.
you know what the common entry to the body is? The most common entry?
The eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we rub our eyes all the time.
We do.
Which I've stopped doing now.
Yeah.
Since you told me.
They're
Yeah.
not as and they're not as well defended as our nose.
No,
which has
My
that's-
eyes are defenseless.
That's why, like,
Yeah.
when you die, that's the first thing that things go for. All the little.
The eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes.
The eyes.
Funny.
That's why back in Egyptian times they put coin in your eyes was to stop the birds from pecking them out.
Ah.
Would that not be?
I'm making that up.
I was gonna say because it's not Egyptians who do coins over the eyes.
No, it was.
That's Greeks.
Absolutely was.
To pay the ferry.
The Greeks took it from the Egyptians.
I mean, look, they took a lot of stuff from the Egyptians.
Oh, those fucking Egyptians.
Greeks going
yes.
like, oh, we had the most advanced civilization, and I'm like, did you?
Yeah, how dare you, Greeks? Ancient Greeks, not
Yeah.
normal. I like.
Everyone knows Italians were. I'm just kidding. Italians just came in and copied everyone's homework, and then they're like, we're the best.
Oh,
Anyway, this
Special-
empire's falling.
special shout out to Smitty for coming out of retirement and resuming his job at the.
I guess he got bored, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He. I don't know what he would do.
Yeah.
He just is
You'd
such
feel
good
lost.
friends with Earl.
Oh, that's it. Like I think Earl's too married to the job, and he realized, I don't get to see my body anymore.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm sick of all the fast cars and the women.
maybe he's taking like lower risk jobs, so things like more like petty officers kind of do, like settle disputes or like mainly there to kind of
enforce quarantine.
yeah, like cordon off areas,
Which
you know?
even the doctors don't really like. What was it? Where she's like, "Oh, how's the quarantine going?" Well, without looking back, 100%.
Yeah. I have some concerns that are also sartorial. So could we segue into fashion corner, maybe?
Just
Wink.
give me 5 seconds. Let's quickly segue into death tally, which is 1, the hamster. Boom.
It's a guinea pig.
Fuck. The guinea pig. Boom.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin ran over it,
Yeah.
which is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's
How
horrible.
do you run over a guinea pig?
Oh, with precision.
I imagine
In a
Fry left
cage.
it behind his wheel or something
Oh,
stupid.
God.
I think
that's
Buzz Aldrin
so-
saw it and
Just
went for it.
I had so many guinea pigs
such a
growing
buzzkill.
up, and why would you do that? Do you
yes.
think anyone died from the common cold?
No one, not explicitly
Well,
said.
or
No.
I think someone had to have died from pulling the fucking city. Like they took half the bridge out with a
Yeah.
sea life.
Probably, let's say, like, at least 10 people
Yeah,
died.
and
There
then
you go.
should we say like some immunocompromised people like the elderly or babies
Yeah.
probably would have died.
maybe.
Oh, there's a lot
Yeah,
of death.
I mean-
and all the sea life that fell down into the pit of nothing potentially died as well.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
there's a lot of death. There you go. Wink. Fashion corner wink.
Wink.
Hi, so really important thing is to keep yourselves appropriately dressed when you are going on, very cold. Well, you need to dress for the weather, essentially.
Hello, Amy.
So
Yes.
yeah, Amy, especially wearing a belly parka, what the fuck? Just exposing her kidneys to the elements.
It's
I'm gonna
definitely the kidneys that get cold.
It's the
yeah.
kidneys, man.
I'm going to look that up.
What?
Belly Parker is a thing.
It is, but you're not meant to wear it like.
Outside of music videos.
Yeah. It's more like a crazy, I'd say early 2000s fashion where people like,
It's just a picture of Amy.
but it's like, in 2000s when they're like, we want puffy things, but then we also want to expose our midriff. So Fry's wearing jeans, not great.
Not great.
I mean, jeans are quite like durable.
He
and
might have
thick
thermals on
fabric.
underneath.
He should, but I don't think he does. Also, both him and his dad have completely uncovered heads, walking through
Cover
the
your
freezing
heads.
cold. It's also not great.
Yeah, Kid Fry does not dress.
Yeah, keep that head warm, guys.
Yeah,
Adult Fry has the hats that I wish I had.
yeah. Those deer stalkers.
Deer
Yeah,
stalker?
with
Yeah.
the fluffy caps, and
I
they're
realize
all,
I've never worn one of those before, and it's
you
a
do
bucket
need
list
them
of
if
mine.
it's cold because like your extremities are gonna. When I was in Russia, I had to wear 3 pairs of gloves, and even then, my hands would still. Like, I would still lose a little bit of feeling in my hands, so I just have to kind of keep moving them and make sure that, I'd put them in my pockets.
I was in the rush.
Yeah, it was minus 28 degrees, though, so
Oh, you
that's
beat me.
pretty extreme.
China got to minus 20.
For our 60% of our listeners, that's Celsius.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Enough with your
Yeah.
Fahrenheit
I'm not
shit.
doing
Get out of
Fahrenheit.
here.
That's fucking stupid.
Get out of here.
There goes all our bye. See ya.
We're just attacking
Metric.
everyone.
Yeah, I do really like the khaki colors that everyone seems to have for their parkas. It's quite nice. Like
Khaki Parky.
yeah, like like a nice kind of dull beige. Especially on Fry, it looks really good. And Leela has a khaki parka with red pants, which looks absolutely fucking love it. Astounding.
Ooh.
There's 70s fashion portrayed by that fucking annoying nerd kid is coming back in vogue, and it's something that scares me a little because they're like quite scary colors to wear. Do you know what I mean?
What
like
was he? What?
oranges. So he was wearing an orange shirt and green flares with like brown loafers and
Yeah.
like tinted glasses,
Yeah.
which is a look that's very much coming into fashion, especially for like stylish young men.
He was a nerd, though. Like, he wasn't the stylishest kid.
No, he wouldn't have been stylish, but it's stylish now, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but those are really
outside of his own time.
There's really scary colors to fuck with, but to all my all the listeners now, fuck with those colors.
By the way, I like
Why
that
not?
as like a descriptive. Like those colors are scary.
They are.
Like that is it's a scary thought.
It's colors that people look at, go, oh, I can't pull that off, and I'm here to say, yeah, you can
Pull it off.
Yeah, try it.
Get your
And
vaccination,
if you
then wear
fail-
scary colors.
Yeah,
Never leave the house again.
yeah, sweet.
That too.
And also, the little spacesuit on the guinea pig is fucking adorable.
Adorable.
I had guinea pigs
Oh, that whole
growing up.
montage is super
So
adorable.
cute.
Yeah.
Guinea pigs actually panic like very easily, so they're not the greatest animal to decide
To put on a space mission.
put
remember which-
in a centrifuge or like
I can't remember which country it is, but there's a country where you, if you have a guinea pig, you must own two.
Yeah. It's I think it's in Sweden or
Yeah.
in Switzerland
Oh.
because they
they're
get very
social
lonely.
animals.
They
so
need-
you have to own a companion.
We
guinea
had
pig.
about 20 guinea pigs because we fucked up.
Holy
So
shit.
we had 3.
Holy shit.
And we were like,
oh,
that's
no.
good because they'll all be friends. And then mine
They
was
got more than friends.
Mine was a secret boy.
Oh no!
Secret boy.
Yeah. You gotta push down on their little their underbelly to like pop out the penis.
Oh,
You didn't pop it out the right place.
Nah.
that's how they found out my gender too.
And your twisted testicles popped
Oh
out.
yeah, no, that's how it happened.
Oh no!
You push Sean in the back, he gets a twisted testicle.
They pushed it too. It's a
Hey,
terrible.
I've never told this story on the podcast. I had a twisted
you
testicle,
had.
guys.
I thought you had.
Have I?
I thought you had early on.
Well,
yeah.
it bears repeating.
Yeah, it does.
My testicle was twisted from the inside. It had to be surgically untwisted.
So that's for all
Ba,
our...
ba, ba,
And there goes
ba,
the
ba,
rest.
ba.
And there goes the rest of our
Oh,
listeners.
those that hate testicle stories,
Yes.
which is most people.
Probably most
I
people.
thought you were
maybe-
just going to say hate testicles.
Hate testicle
Do you know
testicle
what-
haters.
Do you know what we haven't covered yet?
What?
What we actually
Anything in the episode?
thought about the episode.
I-
No, we've talked about it. What's in
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And I figure like that goes towards the end of the podcast
Right,
now anyway.
okay.
Which
Sweet.
Chris, you won't incorporate that little
Aside. Will you?
aside, will we? Maybe this is all in. Now that I've done it this way, it is.
It's
Oh,
all in.
no.
All this
It's
goes in.
Because it used to be the first thing you asked, so I just...
Yeah,
I didn't know what was happening.
yeah.
I'm
I
lost.
like putting
Help
it at
me.
the end
Ah.
now. Yeah.
So
Like-
we just ramble on and
we
then
ramble
we're like,
on, and
oh,
then we,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
it was
then it
alright.
becomes part of like
I
our
think
vote. In
I
the
think
end, like
people
our
love
overall
that
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
And I say that because I'm not ever going to change the way that I do
No,
this
good.
podcast.
I, by the way, as a full well, first of all, now that you ask Phil about what people thought of this,
Oh, sir.
AV Club gives it an A minus. Paste gives it an 8.6 out of 10. IMDb 7.8 out of 10, and IGN 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, IGN didn't like it then.
No. So, and apparently a lot of fans really quite liked this episode.
Yeah.
And IGN is a bit of a dissenting voice where they most critique was fairly positive.
People dig a bit of a dive into characters' backstories, I think.
Yeah.
and a little bit about their parents.
Pretty
and stuff
safe
like
territory to go into the heartstrings of Fry and his
Yeah.
parentage and his
that. And it
family.
strikes a very nice balance, right? Between oh my god, Fry's dad is a cartoon badass, like who just is really mean, and then it just saves it at the
peel
end.
back the onion.
Yeah, I mean, even Fry's mum, like, we'll check your temperature at halftime. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit about
Even though
anything
it's
but
at
sports.
109, which I assume is very
pretty high.
in.
Pretty high, isn't it? Yeah.
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 So, you get a sort of like a nice balance between the comedy tropes of his parents and their real relationship. So
Yeah.
I think that's why fans like it.
Yeah. I really dig this episode.
I
like it, yeah.
I enjoyed it a
Yeah.
lot.
I think
had a lot of fun.
exploring what diseases Fry would bring back is also a nice logical starting point for an episode.
It's certainly a good sci-fi hook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
And it
there's a lot of
makes
science
sense.
involved. I think for me, it's a bit of a stretch, like how those two subplots are connected. Like I get it, but it's just kind of it seems a bit out of left field. Like it all connects in the end, but I suppose there's a time where we're opening it up with the ice fishing and whatever. I'm like, oh, why the sudden flashback to like Fry's youth? But I still really enjoyed it. Like I just, for me, I was like, oh, this could have gone like a lot of different directions. I'm glad that it went to this place. But for a while there, I was like, how
does this
how
work?
are you? How do you justify keep flashing back
Yeah.
to the emotional side?
And I do really like the swerve at the end of it. They didn't just go to, like, I was thinking, is the hamster going to come back from out of space and
Guinea
have a
pig.
cute fucking hell hamster? Is the hamster going to come back
He's a
from out of
rodent
space?
racist.
Yeah,
You bastard.
yeah. They all look the same.
They look completely different.
Is
How
the possum
dare you?
coming back?
Although I will say the way they draw guinea pigs is quite strange.
Yeah.
As an aside, Faith recently in this last week, she just one day she comes up to me and she goes, I was just on the internet and I found some pictures of cute beavers and oh my god, they're adorable. And she just spent the next 10 minutes showing me pictures of how adorable beavers
That's
are.
so,
Beavers.
that's
And
so-
they're super adorable.
Yeah.
Their tails and they're making
Yeah.
the dam and the teeth. And
It's
the-
very
Oh, it's the
bizarre though
teeth.
that
It's
she
the
was
teeth.
like, I've just realized how cute
adorable beavers are.
are.
Just hit her out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes
that's
animals
it.
do that to you.
Yeah.
I've realized that with snakes wearing little hats.
Yeah.
I've spent
Like a
quite a
little
lot
cowboy
of
hat?
time of my life. Like, yeah, there's a cowboy
Do you-
hat,
yeah?
a
Do
little
you know-
birthday hat, little
know what-
lion mane,
Do you know what the internet likes to call snakes?
snakes.
And my favorite,
Snicks.
Danger noodles.
Danger noodles. I was going to say long boys, but that wasn't right.
Long boys and danger noodles.
What do they call them in Mighty Boosh? The long windy man.
Long windy man.
The slow
windy
mover.
man.
The weave. Yes, the slow mover.
No, but I love the twist on the. It was very clear. He's like, no, of course it was the other guy.
Yeah.
His
He deserved to win.
Yeah, and also it's like, of course I'm going to go to his project as
Not
a solve.
mine.
Why would it be mine? My idea was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice.
humble.
And it's nice as well to have the dad be kind of like, going, that guy's going to win. He's going to win. Just being like, as a child, you think, why are you being such an asshole to me? But you do realize they are being realistic. I mean, it's not the job of a parent always to crush your dreams.
No.
Like, it's kind of a role of a parent to be there, and then life does that, and then they kind of pick up
Yeah, but
the
there's a
pieces
fine line, right,
afterwards.
about lying to your kid about their chances of success.
True.
When you know they're probably going to be disappointed anyway.
True.
Like, it's more beneficial to be like, you're not favourite to win this.
But
Yeah.
please
Set
don't-
your
but-
expectations.
But
in the
don't
right
go
place.
up to the other kid and be like, I'm proud of you, son.
Well,
That's that line
Yeah,
He's-
don't bet on the other kid. That's a dick move.
in front of your kid and
Yeah.
call him son.
Yeah.
I mean, he has already told Fry that he's proud of him.
That's true.
At that point,
Yes, because he tells him it while they do the fishing, which is how
Yeah.
he gets the cold in the first place.
that's
No,
very
true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true.
I thought they went back.
And he
thought
fell on
they-
the ice again?
Again, well, that's kind of fry.
Yeah.
Because he's got his backpack sitting there in the
That's
ice.
right, and he
he's
is wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's very
I mean,
cute.
Fry is the definition of insanity. Like he tries the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
expecting a different result, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of my favourite bits.
Oh, you
Please
talk about some of those
do.
favorite. Yeah, tell me. Yeah,
Oh, God.
bit of favorite bits. Bit of favorite bits.
Fry drinks a beer because you can't do ice fishing if you're not drunk.
Yep.
Yep,
And it
solid.
just freezes in his
God,
mouth.
and he
It's
starts
like
choking.
sticking out of his
Oh,
throat, and it's
so
really visceral
bad.
and gross. I love it.
I love also that the beer is called Lowbrow.
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 That's-
I feel like
Which
it's
is
been
a-
featured before.
It's
Probably.
a favorite of
Yeah.
the boys and the boys and
it's-
girls at Planet Express.
It's
yeah.
a great gag. Looked up something.
What'd you look
Sorry. So when they're talking about they need a remedy, a bullshit remedy made by a school teacher, I
Yeah.
looked that up. So that's Airborne, which is kind of it's a dissolving tablet, and it was made by Victoria Knight McDowell, who was a former school teacher, and it was like sold in the 1990s, and they marketed it as like, oh, it's like a
Natural cure.
yeah, like keep flus and stuff away, but it doesn't really have any
Actual effect.
no,
beyond placebo.
and because it was marketed as a dietary supplement, they're allowed to, without kind of any testing or review, just put it out there and say like, oh yeah,
Does this?
works for the
Probably.
common cold.
Oh, right.
But it does have quite a lot of vitamin C in it, which is not necessarily bad, but high doses of vitamin C can cause kidney stones.
Yes.
Again. So
Kidney stones.
watch out for that, guys.
And the idea that vitamin C like shortens or prevents colds
Not
has
true.
been largely
Yeah.
debunked.
Not true.
Yeah.
Stops you getting scurvy, but like we don't really need to worry about that in a modern society.
I particularly like when they initiate the quarantine procedure, which is to stop Leela by way of broom to the head.
Yep. Go
Yes.
on, get.
Go
on,
on,
get.
And she kind of just deals with it and then leaves.
And the way they have a lower set of quarantine
Oh.
gloves for fries.
For the proctologist.
Oh yeah. And Fry didn't really. Oh, he had his back turned. So
yeah,
he
he's just like mid conversation, and it just happens to
That's
him.
probably the best way to
Yeah. You don't want to know what's coming.
do that. Just oh yeah, no. Oh.
It was very quick too. I do like the term tissue walrus.
Yes,
Yes.
and I know you get to that stage in a cold where you just do that. Like I
It's
know
just,
I've
your face is leaking. You're starting to feel better, but
I
it's all
know.
just pouring out of every
I
Yeah.
know
You've just got
I've-
to clog yourself
I
back
know
up.
I've
Yeah.
definitely made a tissue
Right.
walrus. in
Not
my
that
life.
long, but he's
No.
got a long tissue walrus. But
Yeah.
I'm going to aim for that.
more
Don't aim
rando
for it.
cold facts.
Ooh.
Apparently, you're not supposed to blow your nose as if you can help it.
You aren't.
The the pressure is no good for your sinuses, makes them swell.
Yep.
And also that's how you end up with that horrible red raw nose because you get all the snot in
Yeah.
it. What you're meant to do is gently sniff it back up and swallow it down.
Yum.
I
Yeah.
have been told this a bajillion times in my life, and let me tell you, no. Because I it's the same thing if I get bitten by a mosquito. I will just itch and itch and itch and
Oh,
itch
no,
until
that
it
kills me
bleeds
if I do that.
because I have no self-control.
Yeah.
And as soon as I have something that's uncomfortable, I'm like, I must do this. Because my parents all the time have been like, you need to stop blowing your nose. You need to just... unless it's dripping out, and in which case you just kind of wipe it away, like don't blow your nose. And I always have like all the skin gets rubbed off my nose. The aloe vera tissues can help that, or generally when I have a cold, I just smear Vaseline kind of like on my upper lip and my nose. And try and stick to like hankies and whatever to kind of alleviate that a little bit.
Good tip for everyone at home.
This is like half Futurama analysis,
half cold prevention.
Yeah.
cold myths
Looking after yourself.
debunking and
a
stuff.
nice chicken soup as well. Chicken noodle soup for the soul.
Yeah, well, here's your chicken, here's your water, and here's
your
fire.
lighter.
You take it from here.
You didn't even give her a pot.
No.
Selfish.
I really like when the news report is like, everyone go beat up Philip J. Fry. And he's like, oh, thank God I'm stuck in here with all my friends.
Get him.
There he is. Like Amy didn't know where he was, and they get him. In a very similar vein, there's when they're about to be shot into the sun.
You got mine. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, thank goodness I have my wool scarf.
Yeah.
What good is a wool scarf?
He starts choking out Fry. It's great.
Everyone really hates Fry.
I also
well, good reason, right?
Yeah, I mean we
it's
all hate the
not
person who gives us a
really
cold,
his
right?
fault, though.
What's that?
It's
No,
not
but
his
you know
fault.
that feeling, right? When someone is giving you a cold and you definitely know it's that person who
Yeah.
gave
You
you a
just
cold. And you're
fucking
like,
hate
it's that
them.
person.
fuck you.
Yeah.
And your fucking green snot.
Yeah, I've been that person. I've also been
Which
the
one?
reverse.
The
I've been
fucker or the
both in my
both?
life,
Yeah.
especially because, like, I mean, you guys all know this. We all went to acting school.
We did.
You have no time off, and
No.
you spend all day touching each other, being in very close proximity, breathing in each other's air.
Oh, you knew as soon as someone got sick, you're like, how long until I
It's
get
a little
it?
pet.
It will
it's
happen.
a little petri dish. Honestly, someone should use like a whole school of actors just to study diseases. I also
Freshman
wanted to say
flu. Have you had that? Sorry,
just
you
a few weird things. Zach Brannigan's profile looks really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
He's like, I don't know, there's something about his neck
It's
that looked
his
I didn't
neck-
notice
and
this.
I mainly noticed his nose, but he does have like a little snub nose, but it looked very strange.
Odd.
It looked like it was slightly off his body. I
feel
mean,
like we
also in profile, he looks incredibly like Trump.
Trump Brannigan. Trump.
I mean, we have spent quite like a long time looking up Trump quotes read by Zach Brannigan.
Yes.
yes. Billy West.
Quite
you
in
champion.
character.
I really like the ice moon.
Ice
it
moon.
looks great.
The trash moon.
The dumping
Do you
moon.
mean
yeah.
Hoth?
Yes, I mean it's got like cool ice geysers and swirls. It looks great. I want to go exploring it. When he made the wrap up thing, I'm panicking. When he goes to vaccinate Wernstrom. And he goes,
Oh, yes.
you just feel a little like spiking
Stabs
sensation.
him with
He
a-
just stabs him with a fork for no reason.
Is it to get the tetanus shot?
I think he just wants to stab him.
Harm that Wormstrom.
Oh, it's great. I love
That
it.
is a good gag.
It's really visceral as well. We all went, ah!
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
that's my
really
last
in
one.
there. All right.
Yeah. Well, we
So-
got.
Sorry.
Yes.
I want to talk about the really bad Obama joke. It's
Oh,
terrible.
that's who it was.
I have to cover that. Yeah.
That's who it was.
They even
okay.
say Obama.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
did not hear that.
He's
No.
like, Obama, take this pizza out. I've got delivery.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Oh, really?
Panucci's
yeah, no.
voice is really mangled.
And that's why they're like,
I should have gone back to law school.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
go back to law school because he went to Harvard Law
Yeah.
School. And they're like, oh, you don't want to end up like this loser, Fry. And
Pizza delivery boy.
It's actually Obama.
Well, he made something of himself.
Yeah, I thought that joke was really lame.
Maybe it's accurate.
I did not get it, as I did
No.
not hear Panucci's line.
That's the joke.
Obama.
What's your opinion on the joke now that you know what it is?
It's not great.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
didn't-
it's not bad. It's just more like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't make me laugh, so I
Yeah.
guess it fails as a joke.
Yeah. Come on, voice actor.
Failure.
Oh,
let's
you heard it here first,
no,
folks.
my screen went on. So, guys,
Yeah.
let's head on to a Votey McVotey.
Yeah.
And does anyone feel like they want to begin the Votey McVotey
Well,
vote?
what's it against?
All the
I'm glad you asked. We are
Whoa.
currently, our season 6 winner is All the President's Heads.
Yes.
And it is going up against the current episode that we just watched, which is called Cold Warriors.
I'll lead off.
Okay.
This episode has a lot of good features, some fun gags, a little bit of character exploration and heart, and a nice sci-fi premise. So it's got all those things that we like about Futurama in it. I think it is flawed slightly in the way that the double plot is handled. That's always tough, and I just don't think they quite nail it for the reasons that you explored, that it feels a little bit arbitrary how it ties together in the late stages of it. Not that I think it's like a crippling flaw at all. I guess all of this is leading up to me saying I just enjoyed All the President's Heads a bit more. It just has more energy and more craziness. I think I'm being influenced by the fact that we talked about it with the writer and director, that maybe, but even so, my metric for this is how much joy it brought me, and I feel like that episode brought me a bit more joy than this episode.
Does it spark joy?
Yeah, Marie Kondo'd this episode,
Brilliant.
and folded it into a nice package.
Oh, that's nice.
So I will undo that package, and then let's explore that. I was wondering as well whether I was going to be influenced by Josh and Steven.
It's
being
hard to
on,
say.
Yeah, and I was
Either
trying
way.
to figure out like what was my thought on the episode before I came into it, because I really enjoyed All the President's Heads as well. Even though I'm pretty sure I voted against it.
You did.
I did, and
Controversially.
and I am going to do that again. I'm actually going to vote for Cold Warriors. Chuck one on the board for that one. I actually don't think the flashback was that estranged. I feel like I'm fine for it to come together in the end, because it is a thing for me of, like I'm more intrigued of how do these two tie into one another, and I think there's a lot of great movies that handle that as well. That idea of you've got 3 or 4 different multiple arcs, and you're thinking, okay, how do these characters even come together, and some of them might not reconcile that until the last 20 minutes, and then you go, oh yes, that makes a lot of sense. So I get a similar joy from Cold Warriors, and it is just, it's a very well handled sci-fi premise. It's an obvious thing of how would that is one of the ramifications of someone coming 1,000 years later when people have eradicated the common cold and the pine tree and everything else, and there are owls around. There's so many things that are different.
Everyone's nude.
And I loved the twist of you thinking the fucking guinea pig is going to
pig?
save the day.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's clearly the better nerd that saves the day. And also, it's a heartstrings for me. I wasn't expecting that little scene at the end, and it's nice to see a not so one-dimensional daddy.
Yeah.
I don't like one-dimensional daddies. So
Please stop saying daddy.
daddy. He's a two-dimensional daddy.
That's on his Grinder profile.
Oh my
That's
God.
what it says.
I'm a three-dimensional daddy. And
Well,
so
good, because
Playing
I don't
4-dimensional chess.
want to fuck paper.
so that's one on the tally for Cold Warriors. So
Cool. Over
Miss
to
Ellen.
me. Well, I'm going to smack that down. I'm voting for All the President's Heads.
All the President's Heads.
Sorry to say. But I did really enjoy this episode. But I think because I enjoyed it, I wanted more, and I just wanted those two plots to just thematically feel linked a lot more. And I think a way to do that would be to scrap some of the other. We don't need to see much of Fry's mum. We don't need to see much of Yancey. What it needed to be is about the relationship between Fry and his father, which they did bring it back. But I think the flashbacks could have been slightly more often. We could have paralleled, like them being sick and kind of on their own and feeling helpless, back to Fry, because nothing makes you feel more like a child than just being sick, right? Like you just want nothing more than your parent to come take care of you, and I think that could have been a really great way of not only like to linking in, how we get protected by diseases. We literally have to experience them. We have to struggle through them and come out and feel all the more healthy because of that. And that's kind of what Fry's dad was trying to do to Fry with his parenting style. So I think I would have liked just that thematically to just zing a bit more. Really link it through. But I loved this episode. I loved the premise. I think it was really funny. Lots of really great gags and a great concept, and obviously the heart. But I think for this episode, it needed more heart to make all the elements come together, to make a tasty chicken soup broth.
You're right, though, aren't you? It's like you could have taken Yancey and Fry's mum out and then just added in another scene between Fry and his dad, or in the modern times, he can talk about his dad. Like, and that could also reinforce Leela at the end saying what she does to Fry. It's like, what did she say? I think he would be... Leela says something really nice to Fry at the end, and I forget what it was. Well, it's clearly memorable.
Oh, well.
But that could have been a way to tie him talking about his dad in the modern times. And maybe
have him trying some like bullshit remedies that like his father would have done. Like maybe his father would have like locked him in like a kiln and been like, "Nah, son, you gotta sweat it out. I learned this and Nam." And Fry being like, "Nah," and like maybe that was actually a way to cure them or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Just, a way for Fry to find a bit more respect about his dad. It goes both ways. That would have been a nice way to explore.
Yeah, that's very true.
Absolutely.
Good solve, Ellen.
But that's not to dick on this episode. It was really fun, but All the President's Heads was just a neat little package.
Yeah.
And it didn't have so much heart, but the fun was just kind of through the roof. So it didn't need it so much.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it had crazy accents.
All right, guys. So the current winner of season 6 remains All the President's Heads.
What's it?
Or for you Brits, they're All the Prime Minister's Heads. Or for you Australians, they're All the Prime Minister's Heads.
All the Andes heads.
All the Andes. All the Andes.
Circus.
I'd like to bloody behead our Prime Minister.
Oh.
That's political violence.
Oh, no. Oh, the police.
Let's get on. Let's get on to a vote. No, not. Oh God! It's a time travel episode.
Gosh, you put a little treason in there.
Yeah,
and everything falls to the
fucks
wayside.
Fucks it all, doesn't it? On to a voice, guys. I can't remember Buzz Aldrin, but anyone from the episode will do.
I'm just going to do Gerard Ford.
Yeah.
Is it Gerard or Gerald?
It's Gerald. Gerard Ford.
Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. I'm going to do his voice. No,
okay.
I don't even know what it is.
I'm doing. Yeah.
Fry, you're ruining. Get those tissues out of your nose. You're ruining Thanksgiving dinner. I once had to eat a man when I was taken hostage in Vietnam. I had to eat kimchi.
Kimchi.
It was the name of our guide.
Don't worry, son. You'll freeze before you drown.
That's a good line, yeah.
I'm proud of you. I can't even remember. I'm just doing like a cowboy voice. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, we got all our Southern listeners back. There you go.
Yay!
Well done.
I'm going to go back to law school.
Oh, bit of cheeky Obama.
R.I.P. He's not dead, but
going
we
back
miss him.
to I can't do it.
Yeah. So guys, I won't lie to you this time. Next week, please come back and we will have our episode with Raimi Muskies.
We hope.
And the week after that, we will have our episode with Eric Rogers.
Possibly. We're going to... Anything...
Bless you. That was a real sneeze. Oh, God.
Oh, no. And Sean's not vaccinated.
Oh. Another was Phil. That explains a lot. Hey, so guys, if you would like to tell us whether you've been vaccinated or not, you can do so by emailing us at babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
You can also check us out on Instagram. Sometimes we have polls. We have images of upcoming stuff, designs, characters, or just our beautiful faces. So if you'd like to participate and have a look, jump on there. That's Baby Beard Media.
I have a look at Facebook too. There's stuff there. It's good. We go on it and you can chat to us if you do that. And if you just want to listen to a podcast stuff, it's all on your podcast chat or on Spotify. We're on Spotify now.
Finally.
Yeah, and also we're part of the A Lot of Green network. That's alotofgreen.com.au.
And also, guys, if you follow us on YouTube at all, we are gearing up to release some Let's Plays.
Boy. Do you like games? Do you like people playing them? Do you like us? That's a pretty good Venn diagram of what you're going to want.
I hope you like us. I really hope you like us.
What are you listening to us for otherwise?
Content?
Yeah.
We've got content.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And
can't wait to see that content.
And besides listening and watching, subscribe to us. Give us a cheeky review, a rating. And it helps us skyrocket us up the stratosphere to make us very popular boys and girls.
Yeah.
And you can also, tomorrow, tune in to the One Good Thing podcast, where our resident Phil is on. Are you not?
He's shaking his head.
They've done. They did something else before me that just about to edit. What was it?
What did they?
Sharknado 3.
Really? Is that coming before?
Yeah,
tune in a week from tomorrow, where our resident Phil will be on the One Good Thing podcast.
Yeah, I brought Neil Breen's Pass Through, which is an experience.
It's an experience.
Please share it.
Please share it.
I have no desire to watch the film, but I can't wait to hear you guys.
Great. You should
watch
definitely watch the film.
I don't know if I will. Or maybe I will.
It's available, very easy to find online.
I'm sure.
It's only an hour and a half.
God damn.
Wow.
Is it a long hour and a half?
In places, but mostly it's pretty bafflingly awful all the way through in an entertaining way. So
you're half convincing me.
Give it a go.
Since I hate myself.
Yeah. Watch it at 1.5 speed, you'll be fine.
Okay, done.
Great.
And I've been half convincing Sean.
I've been Plague Dr. Ellen.
I've been a guinea pig, Phil.
Hamster, Phil.
Oh,
Hamster.
sorry.
shit. I'm so annoyed. Instead of a voice, I could have just done a guinea pig noise.
You need to go for a wee?
No. Although I would say that to them.
Wee.
If, I open their hutch in the morning and they're like, wee, wee. I'd be like, oh, you guys, you're the toilet.
Oh,
Dummies.
fucking hamster. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I only gave her a photo of you that was no more than the waist up, so it's just an educated guess that you're short.
What a bitch.
Right? She's from Uruguay, by the way.
Uruguay. Nice. Glad that we made that one.
You are gay.
Thompsons.
Stuck forever.
Too sticky.
Too sticky.
It's not the good time for sticky.
Not the good
you don't
time
want sticky, you just want lubricated.
Yeah.
You want wet.
You want slidey.
Maybe synchronized swimmers use that as lube.
You don't want to slip, but you do want to slide.
Slip, slop, slap. It's like if
rules are rules.
If men come in cosplay as Winnie the Pooh, just paint themselves yellow and just wear
God.
a crop top.
That would only work if they tucked.
Show me what you have.
A knife!
No!
It's a great immediate
What's the name of the dog? Daisy.
Daisy!
Oh God.
Oh God.